Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. My name is Tim. I am back on my 1968 Pontiac LeMans, and I am going to tackle one of the biggest projects I've done on this thing, and it's got me a little scared, but let's get to it. So this is my original exhaust. And this is a California car, so that means that this is 58 years old. If you look down in there, somebody at one point replaced the muffler. It is dented all to heck. And as you can see, it's starting to get rusty. It's here in Ohio now, and it is not happy. So what that means is I'm going to try to change my own exhaust. And me laying under this car for, I'm sure, many hours to come is not going to be fun. It's a very small exhaust that's on there too. This car was originally a little grocery getter for some grandma. It had 68 some thousand miles when I got it, and that was in the mid-90s. The car itself had a 2-barrel, and it has a really thin exhaust, a single exhaust that comes out on this one side alone. It's got a 4-barrel and an aluminum intake and all that kind of business, so it makes a little bit more power, but you also can't tell when this thing is on. And I'm going to record the sound, what it sounds like now, so we can compare to what it sounds like hopefully when I'm done. But yeah, you can't even tell it's on half the time, and some people love that. Some people would say, hey, that's great, I like a nice quiet car, but I like a little bit of a rumble to my car. All right, so let me start the car just so you can hear what it sounds like. It was revving up a little bit just to warm up, but here's what it sounds like now. I mean, it's not bad. You can hear it. When you're in the car, you really can't. This is me revving it up a little bit. So that's the sound the car is making today. Now the question might be, what did I go with? I did not go for one of the $1,000 Flomax or pipes or Borlai or anything like that. It's just too expensive. I mean, that's way too much money to spend for some pipes and a couple of mufflers. So the other problem that I have, I cannot weld. I've got a buddy who can weld, but I'm going to try to see if I can do as much of this by myself as possible and as cheaply as possible. So let's take a look at what I picked up. Got it from Jegs. This is their 30541 kit. I actually bought the 30541K because it also comes with the mufflers. So this is for the 64 to 72 GM A-body. Chevelles, Cutlass, all the A-bodies, including the Pontiac LeMans 66 to 72, I want to say. And these are the chamber deep tone mufflers. These are 2.5 offset inset, and I know these mufflers. These are the same ones that I have on this truck. Now, if you've heard the truck before, I've actually got a video called "What Does a Blueprint 350 Engine Sound Like?" That's one of my most popular videos right now. I think 20,000-30,000 people have watched that video because they're looking to maybe buy a Blueprint engine. So let me show you kind of what this one sounds like. Now, it's not going to sound exactly like that The Blueprint engine is a pretty powerful engine. I've also got a custom exhaust in here from Lucor Automotive. Not sure if you're subscribed to the Lucor Automotive channel or Automotive Adventures with Austin, but they installed the, there's an H-pipe custom exhaust in here with dual mufflers, and it's these same ones, but I don't think it's going to be quite as loud. This has headers. My car is going to go, I'm going to go with the original exhaust manifolds and the pipe downs from the original engine. And so I'm going to just basically attach this from those downpipes all the way back. And again, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds. It's just not going to be fun for me to be underneath the car. But I got to do it. And so, yeah, let's get started. So here's what the kit comes with. I'm assuming this is all the hangers and whatchamacallits. Good, they've got it marked. This says passenger side. So that makes this the driver's side. Wait, got it backwards. Of course I did. And this is probably passenger. I'm betting this flared in is where it's supposed to hook up with the header. Oh man, there's a bunch of sliminess on that stuff. Keep it from rusting maybe? I don't know. I guess it wasn't supposed to rust if it's galvanized. Alright, I'm sure that's not right, but I don't know what I'm doing. So, driver's side, passenger side, I'm sure these don't go this way, but I'm thinking muffler here. That makes the most sense. Suppose I should check and see if there's instructions. Maybe. Got assorted bolts and nuts. Really dirty instruction sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hangers, or 10 whatever these things are. This looks like hanger stuff. Have no idea what that is. Oops. Gaskets. And yay. Alright, so I had those two correct. I have those two backwards. They flip over, I guess, to shoot over to the muffler. Muffler then shoots over to the, going over the axle, and then there's no real tailpipe, I realized on this. If you look at it, it's coming out the side, which I'm not crazy about. But maybe I can turn this, have it go straight, then I can get a straight section that can come out. Because I'd like to have the tailpipe here and here with a little chrome tip kind of thing that's flared on this end. So I'm guessing there's more pieces I need to buy. No, I had it wrong. I won't extend it this way. Those actually go over the axle. Those are the tailpipes. Okay. Mufflers here. Yes, that makes more sense. Of course, now I gotta get the car jacked up. I don't think I've ever actually jacked up the car where all four wheels are off the ground. But I'm gonna do it at the axle, put stands on both sides. That way it simulates the axle being suspended. The weight of the car is on there. It's also probably a little bit safer. And then I'll maybe do the other one at the control arms up front. And then I'll probably put way too many jack stands on because I do not want this thing coming down on me. Alright, got it jacked up in the back. My buddy let me borrow these. I'm going to actually use this on the front. Normally you can drive up on them. I'm actually just going to jack it up and set it on them. These are a lot more stable than a regular just jack stand. Alright, got her all jacked up. We have a little bit of room under there now. Gonna start by seeing if I can use the old Cree oil to loosen up these bolts. Hopefully I can get them out. Actually, here's a better look at that muffler. It is beaten up. It's an old Midas. Here's the downpipe that comes down and out, and it wires together right here. So what I'm not sure of is there somewhere along here I can cut and get it right? I guess I'll have to bring all the pipe in here try to figure it all out. I'm gonna get this one loose too. Take it all off from the back, and then figure out what to do for the front. Got lucky on one. Let's see if I can get lucky on two. Yep. The only nice thing about a job like this is you get to lay down. I don't mind laying down on the job. Hell, I was built for that. One down. Well, I tried to take that one off and it broke. I think that one broke too. Alright, that coil stuff really does work well. That's gonna break. Yeah, it's turning. Probably gonna end up having to cut this out of here anyway. I doubt I can get everything loosened up to take it out. But we'll see. Ow, my finger. You stubborn son of a gun. You know what? I think there's a hanger on this side. Yep. So I can use that bolt hole for this hanger. Maybe use the hanger. It's an original, still looks like it's in good shape. The rubber's a little worn. A lot worn. Yeah, maybe I'll replace it. Rust in the eye. Don't do that. All right. Now if I can get this side off of that end. I think there's probably a hanger down here I need to take care of. Not going to be that easy on that side. A little harder to see, but there is a hanger right here and a clamp. So let me take this one off too. Maybe we can wrestle it out without having to cut too much. Snapped her right off. That one's gonna turn. Alright, well that dropped down without having to do too much. So it was just hanging up here on this hanger. Alright, I greased this one up. I tried really hard to turn it. I'm just gonna have to cut it off. Don't know how many people know this because I don't see a lot of people doing it right in their videos, but as working in carpentry for as long as I have, I do know if you're going to cut anything metal, one, make sure it's a metal blade, but try to get it as close as you can to this flat piece. I see people starting out here, and that's when it vibrates. When you get it down here where it first starts to cut, where it's cutting in and out, this braces it a little bit and helps you cut through. So yeah, that's just a little tip I can provide because, you know, usually I can't provide many. But yeah, try to get it as close to the reciprocating sawzall as you can. That is one tailpipe out. And that was a lot easier to cut through than I thought it would be. That metal must have gotten really, really thin. It's not terribly thin. It hasn't rusted away or anything, so. And the old muffler goes bye-bye. The muffler was heavy, like really heavy. I think usually that's a sign that it's pretty full of crap. I know the muffler is at least 35 years old, maybe more. You know, it's had this exhaust system in since I've owned it since '96. So, you know, that The muffler wasn't original, of course, but it's been in there for a while. All right, so looking at this, this is going to keep it up a lot higher. The one that comes with it is very similar, but it's going to have it hanging down a lot higher. However, mine sort of came out right here and ended. Maybe I need to have it a little farther down so that it can extend out. Let me at least get this piece up and over, because I know, that's one thing I know where it goes. This one. Oh, this would help if I weren't an idiot. Duh. Yeah. Helps to not be an idiot. So that's going to go like this and stick way far out. Okay, I put a jack stand on that side to sort of hold up that end, like so. And let's see if I can get a clamp on this end attached to the tailpipe. Actually, you know what? I think it might be best for me to put the muffler on the other end of that pipe, give it some weight, and also see where it is size-wise, fit-wise, and give something for the jack stand to sit on. And I think that might help better. So here's my muffler. The good thing is this says inlet on this side. The seam is on the top. That means pretty much it'll match up with the way they have it in the diagram, where the inlet is on the outside, or the outlet is on the outside, inlet is on the inside. So this is pretty much the same setup here. And I'll go ahead and clamp the pipe onto this. And if you look here, I've still got this hanger. This is still a pretty good one. Again, the rubber's a little worn out, but it's not going anywhere. I'll put my clamp bar over this, down around the muffler, like so. Ooh, though, this is awfully close. After much fiddling, got this in the hook. This is in here, the pipe is into the muffler. That's a little wonky down there. That's still tilted this way. But at least now I can get this clamp started. In theory. Now, I just gotta get this farther down on here. And still have room to hook the hanger. Alright, let me at least get that started. And I'll hook the hanger. Oh, this is so much fun. I can see how incredibly great a lift would be. Alright. Alright, I think that is workable for a start. Like I said, I've got it on the hanger. There is the piece sticking out down here. It's up pretty high, but it will hang a bit, I think. Now, I don't want to do anything tight at all. I just don't want this coming off the hanger like it's trying to do now. I just set the tailpipe in, but it looks like it could work. All right. Well, that sticks out a little bit. I don't like the hanger there. May turn it to the inside, but for a mock-up, we're doing okay. Boy, we needed this rain. It's been dry here for weeks. So one thing I didn't consider on this side is it was a single exhaust. Now I'm doing dual exhaust. I don't have any hangers over here. But, so yeah, at least I'll have to still do a hanger installation. So over there, it's right along this brace. But there is a hole here. There are some holes on the upper control arm. There's one there at the bottom, one at the top. So I might be able to attach a hanger here and here and have it come down. But I did already start by putting this one up. So yeah, that's going to be something to figure out. Alright, so here's a problem. It is sticking way too far down. Which I guess maybe means it only has this much room to go into this section. So it's not like I've got that up far enough. But I've thought maybe I would fiddle around with this side, see if I can figure out what I did wrong on this side. Ideally it would be about right there. But this piece comes down really far. Actually, it would be ideally right about here, because that gives me right along this axis. And so if it were like this, but I've never seen an exhaust that far over onto the rear end, onto the diff cover. But this is outside the frame. This is where the other one is, or should be, on the other side. Man, have you ever seen one like that? I think this would work. I've got that piece attached. It's pretty much going up in the air. Rear end can move separately. Tapped over a little bit, and I think we'd be good right there. Then that gives me the outlet. Muffler's there, goes straight back, and it'll be on a little closer to the drive shaft. Yeah, right about there. So I just need to do the same thing to the other side. You know what? This side wasn't that bad. It had just sort of turned over. I don't have a clamp on that end of the muffler, and this wasn't tight. This had sort of dropped down, and that's why it's sticking down like that. All right, I think I'm good. This is on the passenger side. I don't have as much clearance between the front of the axle and the pipe going over as I do in the back. But I've moved it as far as I could from where it's hooked up here. This is dropping down and it's hooking up on the very back of the muffler. So hopefully I'll even have a good clamp there. But the way it's lining up, this is about as good as I can get. But there's still a good 1.5 to 2 inches over here. Good 3 over here. So I think I'll be fine. I can test it out. If I start hearing bumping and grinding, I can maybe make some cuts or make some changes. But I think for now I'm going to go ahead and put the clamp on this one up here. It's riding nice and high and level. It's kind of close to the tire though. If you look at this, there's not a ton of room here. But again, that's even pushing this out. There we go, that's better. Now I have more clearance. I'm gonna have to make sure that this doesn't move too much. Okay, before I get too much farther, I'm a little concerned about the front section. The downpipes that come down are super narrow. These can't be more than 1.75 inches thickness. And I'm going to be trying to go into a 2.5 opening. They do sell downpipes that are 2.5 inches. They come out to about right here, I think. And then I can then just basically run back along here to my muffler. So that makes sense. Gosh, you know what's funny is I look at this and look at how restricted that is. They have it pinched down flat. This thing is going to breathe so much better. But anyway, yeah, Pipes has a set They're like $185 though, and that is crazy. That's half of what I paid for the entire, header back system. So, yeah, I might have to do that, but that's going to give me more breathability up here. So yeah, they have 3 bolt flanges that mount out right up to the existing one. Then I'll have 2.5 coming all the way back. Now the only problem is how do I mate them up? I picked up the new downpipes. Got them some pipes. So these are the 2-bolt kind. Hopefully it's fairly similar to stock. And I can mount these up. This is 2.5. And hopefully I can expand the other 2.5. Alright, so yeah, this is the piece that came with the kit. It's flared. Hopefully I can cut that end off and expand it in there to slide in. We'll be good to go. Okay, so first things first, got to get the old one out and get the new one in. These are 9/16 bolts and a little hard to reach. Bending the pipe doesn't make it easy. Alright, all of the old exhaust is out. Okay, let's see if I can get this one started. Okay, I got them both started. Now I just need to tighten them up a little bit. Passenger side pipe is all in, and I made sure to line it up with the trans mount that has a space for the pipe, because I'm assuming that's where it has to go. And look here, this practically meets up with it. I don't even need this part because the headers normally stop right after the collector. This is here to extend that, and look at that, they match right up. A little bit short, but I can pretty much go from straight back to this pipe into the muffler. Yes! Alright, both downpipes are in. So I went to Advanced Auto and I got their loaner kit. So this is not going to cost me anything. But they have an exhaust kit from Powerbuilt. It's got a cutter and it's got 2 different size expanders. And so what I'm going to do is see if I can expand the pipe so that I can fit over the downpipe. And I've never done this before, so let's give it a try. So I got my pipe in my vise. Get this nice and oily. It's going to be expanding metal on metal. I don't want to break this tool, it's not mine. I'm going to give my sad Milwaukee a try. It usually doesn't have enough guts to do anything like this, but I've got it about 3/4 of the way in. I just kind of want to get it started and see how it goes. And because this has gaps in it, I think I'm going to make sure I move it around a bit so that it's not constantly pushing on the same spot. Because if you look and see, it does have a flat spot there. And yeah, so I'm going to just keep going back and forth until I can get this, see if I can get this expanded. I have this, it's been laying around forever. It does fit over this. So I had to use the adapter to get it to fit, but she's all lined up and nice and tight. Progress report, got that side on. Again, I'm having to double clamp these. Had to double clamp that one. It's not gonna stay that way. I'm actually gonna have a buddy of mine tack these on and then I'll clamp them. It's just a weak point and there's so much weight stretched between these two with the engine, but you know, it's going to be a spot. So at least I can get these clamped on, get him to tack these up, and we should be good to go. I still haven't done that side over there, but I'm going to hop on that now. Now the other thing I'm going to do is use two clamps right here. This clamp is attached to the hanger. But what I want to do is move everything this way. So I'm going to keep this one to hang it, and then another clamp to attach the tube to the muffler. Yeah, another clamp to attach the tube to the muffler. So there'll be two here. But the way this one's hanging, it just needs to come farther out this way. That gives me room there, and it tightens everything up back this way. So I was hoping to get the hanger that matches the one that's on the other side. I like that one a little better. What comes with this kit is a little strange. Because yeah, these are the things that come with the kit. I think this one is more for the tailpipe, and this one for just behind the muffler. And this doesn't work. At least not with what's already here. The original muffler should be hanging through that hole, just like down there. Like I said, there are holes way up in there, but what comes with this kit, it doesn't match anything. The holes are vertical. This one is horizontal, but then this makes the holes here, the holes there should be going this way so that the clamp can go through one of those four holes. The clamp would go in sideways through here, but if I've got it like this, can't do it, and it's way long. The muffler would be hanging down much farther. Now if I use this one with the strap, I could maybe make it work. Use the little angle piece to fit up like this, and then have this hang down and pull the clip, but this is too long too. I could cut maybe one hole off and hang it down, and that would work. I think I'm gonna have to do that, but then the other problem is the bolts that come with it are much bigger than that small little hole. Again, I know there's always going to be some customization, but I don't know how to do that. I guess I could drill that hole bigger and use the bolts they include. I just don't know. Alright, so I'm going to go with making it larger. Alright, larger it is. Let's see if my bolt fits. Yep. Alright, let's see if I can put this in there. Should probably do a washer. Alright, that should work. Brake line's right here, but I think I'll be okay. And she can hang down from there. If I can find it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to make this much shorter, like maybe to right here. Hate to cut it because then you can't go back. Alright, I trimmed it down, got a bolt through it. It's got a lock washer and a nut. And I'm gonna see how that fits. It's still hanging a lot farther down than I want. Yeah, the other one is about right here, hanging right here. Maybe I can move it up a notch. Alright, I think that will work. It's hanging down about the same distance, maybe a little farther down than I'd like it, but there's not much I can do about it. For now, should hold. I can put the muffler, at least the clamp here, and hold the pipe if the muffler doesn't line up directly with it. Oh, so there's my hanger. Got it started. Had to actually bring it back down a notch. So I think we're good. It does sit a little bit lower than this one, but I still need to tighten it up. Got this one tightened up. Had to lift it while I tightened the clamp. I know that one's a little off. I need to straighten that one out, but I think we're good. Just need to put this tailpipe on. One thing I've realized, it's actually easier to put it on from the engine back. On this side I put it in for the tailpipe in, but being able to get everything to fit together, it really is best to do it from front to back. Alright, so I dropped a bolt and washer in there. I'm going to use that to attach, I believe, this way. This up here, and I can use that to hold it up. And I will use this one, but what I'm going to do is attach this to the top and sort of fold it under so that this can capture the pipe. So here's what I'm going to do. Bend this down, attach the clamp, put that on, and I am done. The only problem is I gotta go get some more of the clamps because I used a couple up there and I'm out of the 2.5 inches. All right, picked up another clamp. These things are expensive. $13. It was like 12 something, $12.99. That is crazy. I thought it'd be like $5 or $6. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this clamped up and give her a test start. I think I might actually go through and tighten everything again just to make sure, but I want to start it up and see how it sounds. It would help if you put the brace on first. All right, that side's sticking down about that far. A little bit farther on this side, but I can live with it. As you can see, sticks out quite a bit. I'm gonna have to cut that. I'm not gonna cut it in this video because I kind of want to make sure I get some decent looking tips, and I need to know how far to go back. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just run through, tighten everything up, and then we can test it out. See how it sounds. I don't know if I can tell if there's any leaks. Maybe I'll hear noises, but hopefully I don't have any leaks. And we can see how it goes. The other thing I'm going to do is give you guys the prices. I'll have links in the descriptions for everything below, but I kind of want to give you an idea of what I had to spend versus maybe going to a shop and having them do it, or buying one of the more expensive perfect fit exhaust kits. So yeah, let me go ahead and wrap this up. All right, here goes. I really don't like the idea of starting this thing while it's jacked up, of course. But let's see what it sounds like. So what did I spend for this exhaust kit for all the little things I had to buy? Oh, I also had to use a second clamp, so it was actually another 12, 13 bucks. But anyway, what did I spend? Well, I know that there was a pipes kit that I think was about $900. Speedway has a Flowmaster kit that's 1,047. I'm not sure. I'll throw a couple of the images up here of the ones that I found. But this is the total amount that I spent. So for my downpipes, $191, $406 for the kit. The clamps were $27.80. I had to use one expanding pipe. It was $5.99, and I used another one that I had, so it would have been another $6 if I didn't already have it. So my grand total is actually the same amount as the expanding pipe, $632 even for everything. So that is not bad. And I did it all myself. First time ever installing exhaust. Yeah, of course, I was scared to do this because I thought I needed to weld everything up. And I am going to take this car over to my buddy's and have him weld those 2 extension pipes that I put on there. Just going to have him tack it up to make sure they stay in place, put the clamps back on. So if I were gonna have to pay to have that welded, that would be an additional expense. But I pretty much did it all by myself. It's running. There are no leaks. It sounds great. Might be a little loud for some folks, but I kind of like that. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. That and this thing I think is going to breathe so much better. That restrictive pipe that both of those downpipes were going into, that could not have been good for the car at all. And I bet this thing's going to be a little bit faster. We'll have a little bit more torque. I don't know how much, but I'm pretty happy. So if you can, like the video, if you got anything out of it, I'd appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions. I'm happy to try to help out any way I can. I'm an idiot. I don't really know how to do any of this stuff. But subscribe if you can to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me grow the channel and keep doing more videos like this. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.